Hello, I'm Rome Blevins, and this is the Republican Talk Show. I'm your host today, Rome Blevins. We have a special guest on the show today, and if many of you have seen him on YouTube, this is Robert Wanek. How are you doing today, Robert?
I'm doing well.
That's great. We have been on our channel. We've been getting many guests, but you're the first of the important, what I call the important group of people I want to interview. Can you explain to the listeners out there who never watch your channel what do you want to encourage? What do you want to get out the message? I hear that you're getting the message of the 9/11 was an inside job. If you'd like to tell some viewers, tell the viewers of what you're doing.
The point of my channel for the latter part of the last 3 or 4 years has been to expose school indoctrination and techniques used by public schools to keep the public, most importantly the youth, submissive and docile, to not question current events and authority. I've just basically kind of been encouraging students to question their teachings when it comes to public education and private education, because the founders of schooling were motivated to use them as social engineering centers instead of public education centers.
So basically, they were using schools as a place where they can control the United States. Because if you control the younger generation, they grow up to be learned what you've taught them. They'll go what you've done, right?
Correct. Such as, like, for certain examples specifically, the drug war is one of the main staples of the new American curriculum when it comes to textbooks and teaching. Demonizing of marijuana is one of the main teachings of high school teachers these days. And the fact is, they demonize marijuana because they don't want youth to understand the medicinal benefits, as well as just the recreational benefits of marijuana use. And by making marijuana out to be a dangerous, violent drug, it makes kids single-minded on the subject of marijuana when it can be used in very good ways, such as reforming the economy. If marijuana were legalized in all 50 states and taxed, the revenue coming back to the states for their debts would be instrumental, but instead it is viewed by the majority of America as a gateway dangerous drug instead of an economic stimulator.
Yes, I agree with you. We made a podcast and a talk show about this earlier. Where we were discussing the same thing you said. If they legalize it, the government could be smart about it, and they can make a profit out of the taxes. But instead, they don't want to, and then this causes people, causes so much trouble.
The government won't legalize marijuana because it's an uncontrollable substance, unlike cigarettes and alcohol, which can be controlled and distributed and tainted with dangerous chemicals by the government. Just like why they would rather have you take prescription drugs for your depression or pain relief, which are harmful and even state may cause you to commit suicide on a package, rather than smoke an herbal natural plant, which has all hundreds of thousands of health benefits, and has even been shown to stop future cancerous cells in their paths, as well as reform your brain cells while working on mutated useless brain cells to stimulate your muscles.
Another question that I have for you. Viewers have been asking me about the New World Order. I try to explain to them about it. They just don't get the whole point of it. Can you explain basically what it is?
The New World Order summarized all the compartments of the New World Order into one. You would have to say that it is basically just a scheme for one world government. The New World Order is a scheme for global government. And once people can accept that there are leaders around the country and around the world that would like to see a centralized world government with a freedomless nation, freedomless Mexico, Canada, European Union, everybody stripped of their freedoms, then they can start to understand how the governments are moving towards this New World Order through economic centralization. They have private banks like the Federal Reserve, which students are taught, actually, in some cases, that this is a public federal bank. It's no more federal than FedEx is. It's a private bank, and they use these private banks to loot America, and they also use offshore international banks to loot America as well. And like I said, simple alternatives to climbing out of debt, like medicinal marijuana, are ignored because the government engineered the economic collapse, and now they're using this economic collapse to have people support a more more often a global idea, because we are in debt. Other countries are in debt. Now they're saying we need to embrace each other and destroy all borders. It's basically a giant move towards a one world totalitarian government.
So basically, what they're taking is they're trying to sneak into the back door, making it look like it's a good thing to the people, so the people will be fooled and they won't know anything about it, right?
Right. The New World Order actually originated in ancient Rome. So this has been in plots for, basically most of man's existence in the New World Order, because there are always people in higher power that would like to oppress the working class man, the working class family. And people just need to grasp that today this is still happening. Barack Obama is funded for the New World Order. He is on the Council on Foreign Relations, which is responsible for all of America's wars and all of America's violence. He said that he would repeal legislation that keeps marijuana criminalized. He said he would decriminalize this harmless plant. He's yet to make that move. And he also said that he would look into the 9/11 attacks. But when people reach out to him to investigate it, he doesn't. He's a gatekeeper for the New World Order. And the fact is, because he has the advantage, he does have the advantage of being the first African American president, which is monumental and revolutionary. He uses that to fool people into believing that he is for change.
Well, that brings up a good topic. What you're talking about, and I understand. I used to go to private school, and I now go to public school, and it's a lot different. Everybody's very different in public school, and I ask them about the president and what they think about him. The majority use racial, his race because he's black. They like him. And I asked them, do you have a political reason why? And they don't. And their whole family, they love Obama. They say Obama's their savior and everything like that. It's actually very disturbing. So is that what's happening?
I think that's definitely what's happening. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure that Obama won a fair election in his first term as president. And the test will be shown when he likely runs against Ron Paul, who's the front runner for the Republican Party. He's now the face of the Republican Party. After they threw him to the side and ignored him as a candidate, they are using his Tea Party beliefs and his limited government beliefs to prop their party up. So he will likely be their candidate. And when Obama faces off against Ron Paul, we will see if the New World Order is really pulling the strings of the election, because America wants freedom now. America was fooled by change last time. They will be looking for real change in a candidate like Ron Paul, and it will be interesting to see whether Obama is placed to victory by the Illuminati and fellow secret societies, or will Ron Paul prevail by the vote of the people.
I have a question for you. I've been hearing about the telephone. There's this program, and what they do is they track people's phone calls and they record them. Is that people say it's illegal and say it can't happen, but on the other side, many people say it is happening. Have you heard of it before? I don't remember what it's called, but they record all your phone calls.
Well, since the Bush administration, they've been using warrantless wiretaps, and by doing this, they're overriding your Fourth Amendment rights. And they're overriding your Fourth Amendment rights because of the crime of 9/11, which was, in fact, an inside job, but most Americans don't know that this was a government cover-up. So what they do is they never complain about their phones being tapped because they believe it's for their own safety, when really it's part of this New World Order.
So they use the phone tapping as an excuse.
They use 9/11. It's called problem, reaction, solution. And you can quote David Icke. This is basically his methodology when it comes to people and societies crumbling. The problem was that Al-Qaeda allegedly attacked us on 9/11. The reaction was, oh my gosh, I need to protect my family and my children. The solution was letting the government search your houses, take away your freedoms, and tap your phones. So nobody's complained. But if you've noticed, yesterday, the number one search term on Google was 9/11 cover-up. Now that the people are waking up and understanding that 9/11 was engineered by criminal elements of the government, they aren't standing for other stuff like the drug war, wiretapping, warrantless searches. It's all coming together now. The New World Order is made up of different compartments, and people are waking up to each compartment in different compartments, and they're placing the puzzle together. So it looks like this is make or break time for Obama and his plans for one world government.
And by what means will, if the Obama administration and Obama himself and the Illuminati, what means would they do if they did engage to make a one world government? How would they do it?
I think it would first be implemented through more acts like 9/11. Today I flipped on CNN to see that there was mysterious packages shipped from Yemen with some computer hardware type stuff on the inside, and they thought it may be bombs. It looks again like another setup attempt to change the face of blame at terrorism. Everybody's worried about the economy and foreclosures and recession and how they're going to support the family, and another bomb scare happens. And it looks to be a well-engineered bomb scare. A few of these bomb scares put together could lead then to martial law. And people would again accept martial law because they believe it's for their security, not knowing that it's actually to implement a one-world government. Once martial law was implemented, we would have a police state. This police state would remain permanent. We would have a permanent police force, 8 o'clock curfews, violations of rights, etc.
Would there be a point where citizens would be sent to these FEMA camps?
Well, many people speculate about National Guard bases being used as FEMA camps, and most of the alleged FEMA camps are actually military bases or former National Guard bases, and it still lies to question whether they are concentration camps. Governments, in turn, placed Japanese citizens into concentration camps in the past. These are real issues. Are they today? I'm not sure, but I know that the next step from martial law would be destroying borders. Mexico, Canada, and America will be placed into the North American Union, combined with the already existing European Union. Once combined, this will be a one-world government, all police. All of the states, all of the countries will be policed in martial law. Then, the CFR, the Illuminati, the Bohemian Club, all of the secret societies, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the false left-right paradigm, would decide on who would be the leader of the new world, the one world, the international order, the new world order, the totalitarian government. And by then, if people haven't revolted and basically, started the Second American Revolution, then there will be a new world order very quick in America.
And that's a big issue for me. I'm worrying about it. About how it's gonna come through. Hopefully, it won't. When do you think? Do you think it's going to happen in the near future?
As far as the New World Order goes, I don't think it will be happening in the near future because after getting so close to their goal with 9/11, they implemented RFID chips and real ID cards for security personnel. They implemented a full-on police state, removed habeas corpus, all of that. They were so close to getting this one-world government instated. They've fallen back so far with the advancements of InfoWars, celebrities for 9/11 truth, and basically just the voice of the people, the raw movement of the people in the streets, have awoken up more people, and now there's a large enough majority of America, might have critical population, critical mass in America right now, to where they need to back off a little bit and be careful about their moves. So instead of causing 9/11s, because people know that 9/11 type activities aren't done by terrorists usually, they're done by criminal governments, they're making little advancements to the New World Order, like these bomb scares today. So I think it'd be some time in the future when the New World Order would be completed if critical mass fell again and people went back to sleep. But I think people are in too much of an awakened state right now to allow a New World Order. So
it's not going to happen that quick anymore?
I don't. The fact of the New World Order is just that it's been in place since ancient Rome, people trying to start a one-world totalitarian government. Hitler was actually working towards a New World Order, and that is what Obama's working towards. He's an elite company with Hitler and Mao and Lenin and all these people. He is, not to equate him with communism like a stereotype, he is basically a communist, one-world government dictator. And the fact of the matter is, the New World Order may never happen, but the fact is, if we stop fighting it, it will happen. The New World Order is never going to stop working towards one-world government. So we, the people, must never stop fighting the New World Order. As long as we keep speaking out against the injustices and the pushes for globalization, it won't happen. It's the day that people start ignoring the advancements of our government that the New World Order will happen.
And I agree with that. We'll be back with the part 2 in a minute, guys. Hold on.